Alright, so this video is going to be giving my final thoughts on what I think the network test and how everything how everything went, how well everything went, and like what do I think about the game's development so far. Alright, so this is a pretty solid Dragon Ball Z game. I mean, every Dragon Ball Z game I had, it's like the controls are very easy to learn, but hard to master. Like it's kind of like one of those type of games. Um, the combat is pretty straightforward. It's nothing too complicated. However, it is the network test. They're not gonna have like any major tutorials on how to do whatever, because they don't even show you the controller scheme, so you got to learn it on your own. And but once you get the hang of everything, it's fun. You get to set everything up. Like for example, like you just seen in my final match, I kind of did like a hard dash punch. The guy flew into the distance. I did a hail zone grenade. Like that type of stuff you got to learn on your own. And then it's enjoyable. I kind of wish they kind of had more missions and more quests in the network test, but it's just them testing out the network. So I'm not surprised they only had like a couple. But with that being said, as far as the connectivities, because this is a network test, and me giving my final thoughts on that, the connections were surprisingly smooth. The only time I ever experienced any real slowdown is when I was just running around the reception area. That's the only time I experienced any like frame drops or anything like that. There were a couple things I thought they would have put in a network test that was kind of obvious, like you having the ability to leave your own your party. Like I thought they would have at least let you be able to do that, but you got to quit the network test in order for you to leave your group. And like the little way they have you going around to recruit like different people is like really unique. Now this is like the single lobby. This is like the single player lobby. This is like the multiplayer lobby where I'm guessing the experience would be a bit different. But in the single player lobby, if you do a oh man, excuse me. Yeah, but if in a single player lobby, if you would to do a leader reception, then all you have to do is just go to one of the players that's just standing around, hit triangle, and then there will be an option where you can press start and you can recruit them. And you can take them on like offline quests and things like that. I don't know if they're gonna let you use them on like online quests, or if you would need like the multiplayer lobby for that. But when I tried to do it, I wasn't able to use them in the online quest. So I guess like the single player lobby, so like that'll be just for the people that just want to play the game on their own, but still have the option to use other players' characters, which would be fun and unique, because sometimes you want that help from other players, but you may not want that actual player interaction. I guess I don't know, but nevertheless, but yeah, that's it. But the connectivity weren't a problem. The only issue was that you couldn't join certain rooms. They did mention that there were some bugs where the North American servers, the players in North America couldn't play with the players that was in Europe, and that's what they intended to do, but it just didn't work. So that's something they have to work on as well. let me see. The shops. The shops were pretty, you know, those are pretty straightforward themselves. I mean, like you got like the various vendors from the accessory items to the Z-Souls that come in handy, even though like I've had my Z-Soul for like some hours now, and it is the first time it ever activated was during that last match, as you guys seen. You know, there's a store staff where you can buy like Senzu beans and things like that. And maybe, I'm not saying this is what it's going to be, but maybe or like maybe they'll do it to where, I don't know, like certain levels can only buy certain items. I don't know, like maybe they'll do that. I don't know, like that's just an idea. I don't think they should, but I think that's something that they would do for whatever reason. The accessories, the ones that they had in the network test beta just wasn't worth getting at all. I mean, I thought they would have had like some type of properties to them, like increase like your key or something. But nah, like those are just like cosmetic changes. So I don't know if that's going to change in the official game or what. The wares. Now this was what really interested me about the wares. The wares stats seem to increase the more you buy that same outfit. So let's say, for example, as you see right here, if you buy multiple outfit parts, for example, like my upper body uniform, I have 2 of those. So from what it looks like, it seems to be that your stats can increase or get stacked on top of each other the more you buy that same item. So for example, right here, like I got the upper body uniform, and it raises my guard gauge, basic attack, and melee attacks up by 1 point. And now because I have 2 of them, it stacks. So now I have like a +2 on everything, and it's the same thing with my gloves and everything like that. So when you buy multiple of the same armor or items or anything like that, then it just increases the all of those stat bonuses that you get on it, it seems, which would be interesting, you know, if they do that. The skills, I think they were very well priced. I don't think they were overpriced at all, especially the ultimates, considering that they do a lot of damage. You know, I mean, I would expect them to cost more, but like 3,500 is I don't know, like it seemed kind of cheap. I don't want to throw no ideas in their head, but depending on how many they have in the game, I was saying like I either raise the price of them to about like, I don't know, 500 more or not. You know, I don't know, like it's just like an idea, you know, just to kind of make it more of a challenge. And it's time-space delivery, even though I couldn't use it, I still think it was a good concept, like a good idea, because you probably have some friends that are playing this game as well, and they're having a hard time trying to get a hold of certain items or like certain drops. I don't know if they're going to have like events or anything like that where they have like rare items that they're you know what I'm saying, like that they'll have like the players fighting for. But if they did, and it was like a rare item and somebody has like multiples of them and they wanted to send something to a friend, then they could use the time-space delivery for that. So, and even little item drops in like the quest, you know what I'm saying? For example, like maybe you'll find like a Dragon Ball, you can help them find Dragon Balls and you can send them to them. So that's something else that I think is good. Or at least I hope they let you send Dragon Balls to other players. And next up we have the synthesis staff. Now this was kind of, I mean, even though like I only mixed 1 item, like I never really used this. or anything. And even then, I couldn't even use my items in the network test. So overall, my thoughts are, I think it was a good network test. It's a couple things that obviously they have to work on. You know, the issues with North American players not being able to play with the European players and vice versa. The issues in regards to those frame drops when you're running around the park, and the issues where you can't join other people's rooms. That's something else they have to work on. Now they did say that I mean, of course, it's the network test, obviously, but they did say that you know, this is not the final version of the game, and just for them calling it the network test, I mean, that's pretty obvious. So what the network test did is actually increase my appetite for Xenoverse, for this new Dragon Ball Z game, Xenoverse. I'm actually curious to see what else they're going to add to it, and if they're going to do like another test, hopefully I'll be able to participate in that one as well. And also, I hope they let us keep our characters from this network test, because I would hate to lose like the character that I was working on. You know, like really that would suck. But yeah, man. So that's my final thoughts on the game. I think the network test was successful. I think it was good. And I'm just eager to see what they do. So with that being said, man, I'm gonna end this network test playthrough here, and I'm just gonna say peace, and see you guys for future playthroughs. Until then, deuces.